Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss conclusions I've drawn from studying American history, conclusions you might not agree with or see yourself, but I just hope you have your own conclusions, that you'll study American history and some of the topics that I discuss, be conversant in it. And these are deep. I'm not going deep. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm on African American history, just some names I want to bring out, some events, and that you can get a lot deeper than this. You can get a lot more in detail, and if you're interested. But I have a lot of ground I want to cover. So let me begin. We're now at the Revolutionary War, um, and I'm going to say, although not all at one time, some scholars estimate that a possible total of 250,000 soldiers and militia fought in the Revolutionary War against Great Britain. That's a total of people over the time. Of these, various sources say that 5,000 to 9,000 African Americans fought as well. Again, there are historians and historical writers who put the black population of the North around 50,000 and that of the southern states at about 300,000. Freedom was gained in the North by fighting for independence, but in the South, freedom was only had for by fighting for the British. The number of black men who fought for the British in the South is estimated at around 15,000. All the figures I've just stated are arguable and uncertain. They're estimates only that vary widely from source to source, as I was reading. As early as 1652, black men in Massachusetts had been required to train in the militia. Crispus Attucks is well known as one of the mob who was gunned down by British soldiers at the Boston Massacre in 1770, although John Adams, as a lawyer, got nearly all of the soldiers acquitted of intentional murder. Noteworthy was a black soldier at the Battle of Bunker Hill named Peter Salem, who is said to have shot British Major Pitcairn. Other named black men who served in the Revolutionary War include Ebenezer Hill, who was at the Battle of Saratoga and witnessed Burgoyne's surrender. Prince Whipple is reported to have acted as a bodyguard to General Whipple, one of George Washington's aides. It is noted in places that he is the black man at the oar in the painting of Washington crossing the Delaware. He had been freed by the general, who felt he could not be a hypocrite fighting for freedom while enslaving a man, so he freed Prince. Prince stayed with the general anyway and fought by his side throughout the war. At the Battle of Groton Heights on September 6, 1781, also known as the storming of Fort Griswold, the last major engagement in the Revolutionary War in the North, British Major Montgomery was killed by a slave named Jordan or John Freeman, who was enslaved to the American commander. Freeman or Lambo Latham were the black men among many white militia who were massacred by the British. There are many other brief stories about slave and free blacks who served in the Revolution. Black soldiers in the South faced re-enslavement after the war, so much so that Virginia had to pass a law allowing many who served to remain free. So we're going to continue with the War of 1812 and the American Civil War next. Um, and then we're going to go on. I mean, we have a lot of things to discuss. The war to conquer the West, World War One, two, all the way up through the Gulf War, and Iraq and Iran. I mean, Iraq and Afghanistan. And then we have people like doctors, inventors, lawyers, not lawyers, doctors, inventors, famous uh, African Americans. So that doesn't make sense. Famous African Americans. Okay, so I hope you'll stick with me and that you'll be interested enough to do some digging yourself. Thank you.